more. Stop cleave, cost more, stop cleave, cost more, stop cleave. I think we've already stopped cleave for one, so let's make everything cost more. Not everything, just his targeted removal, which he seemed to have a lot of, right? This is all targeted removal. Another Fervent Champion. It's good. We're still at 20 though, which is great. And we have lethal on board for next turn. Good game. Archon of Absolution shuts down mono red because they can't cleave. Hey everybody, welcome back, and thanks for taking the time out of your day to watch Hello Good Game. I am so appreciative of this. We're playing Easy Flyers again today, taking it into the Mythic queue, trying to gain a little bit of rank, and it is a struggle out there. Mono red is out in best of one for real, and if it's not mono red, you're playing against Adventure, which may as well be mono red when they start doubling the Bone Crusher Giants stomp on you. So it's tough out there. I feel your struggle, but I'm trying to make the strongest free-to-play decks for you guys so you can still play at the most competitive edge that is possible for new players who don't have the full collection within Arena. So these free-to-play decks consist of 0 rares and 0 mythics, so they should be relatively easy for you guys to get up and running, start playing with them, start upgrading them, and then start climbing that rank. As always, we're taking at the deck list in its entirety, breaking down each individual card. What do they all do? Then we're talking deck tech, the strategies, the synergies involved. How do they all come together to form a well-working, coherent archetype that you're going to be able to crush your enemies with? Finally, we've got the gameplay footage where we break down all of the playlines and interactions within the standard 2021 ranked meta. It's not enough to know how your deck works, but you should really know how it works against the opposing decks within the environment as well, or the metagame, if you will. And now if you're interested in some of these phrases that I'm using here, check out Magic the Gathering Arena Assistant. Link is in the description below. It's the Overwolf one. It's going to take you right to the download page, install it, it'll be up and running, and you can see the environment or the metagame of Arena right here when you click into it. You get standard, traditional, standard, historic, traditional, historic, and even the brawl metagame. So you can see what the majority of people are playing. You can see if you have all the cards in the deck, which wild cards you're missing, right? Maybe there's a very cool deck that you have access to that you didn't know. It's right here for you to discover that. And not only that, we've got deck write-ups, deck videos, all of the shenanigans that you could possibly want. So download Magic the Gathering Arena Assistant, link in the description below. Let's get into it. We're talking Easy Flyers today. This is a free-to-play deck, 0 rares, 0 mythics. Again, we only have 3 1-drops within Miscast. Instant speed, counter target instant or sorcery spell unless its controller pays 3. Excuse me. We've got 4 copies of Watcher of the Spheres. Now, this is our first 2-drop. It's a 2/2 with flying. Creature spells with flying that you cast cost 1 less to cast. Whenever another creature with flying enters the battlefield under your control, Watcher of the Spheres gets +1/+1 until end of turn. 4 copies of Staggering Insight, one of the main engines within the deck. An enchantment aura. Enchanted creature gets +1/+1, has lifelink, and whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. 4 copies of Lofty Denial. This is an instant speed spell. Counter target spell unless its controller pays 1. If you control a creature with flying, counter target spell unless its controller pays 4. So that becomes very versatile within the deck once we get those flyers in place. Speaking of flyers that we want to use, Faerie Vandal is a 1/2 with flash and flying. Whenever you draw your second card each turn, put a +1/+1 counter on Faerie Vandal. 2 copies of Basri's Solidarity. We're trying to replace Rally of Wings, but we're struggling to do so. This is as close as we can get, and I don't think it's cutting it. Rest in peace, ROW. We miss you. Sorcery speed for 2. Put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control. It's still good, but it's not great. Into our 3-drops, Whirlwind Denial. Instant speed. For each spell and ability your opponents control, counter it unless they pay 4. Wow, talk about adventure. Lucky Clover is everywhere right now. You know, I miss Teferi. Teferi used to bounce that Clover and make things a little harder for them. They're just playing it. If you don't have artifact removal, you're screwed. However, and this goes really far, the countering. When you counter a spell, you still have to counter the copies, which is where Whirlwind Denial comes in play. It's going to counter the whole stack of them all at once for you. Mwah. Thank you so much, Whirlwind Denial. You are saving lives. More importantly than that, though, the Jubilant Skybonder. This is a 2/2 with flying. Creatures that you control with flying have spells your opponents cast that target this creature cost 2 more to cast. So whenever there's targeted removal on your creatures, your opponent has to pay an additional 2 mana to get at them. When combined with our, Miscast, having them pay 3, the Denial having them pay 1 or 4, when they are using single targeted removal and now they have to pay an additional 2 on top of that, it can be troublesome. Anywho, into our 4 drops, 2 copies of Rewind, instant speed, counter target spell, untap up to 4 lands, so it's basically just like a free counter as long as you hold it up. Archon of Absolution ×4. This is a 3/2 with flying, protection from white. Creatures can't attack you or planeswalkers you control unless their controller pays 1 for each attack for those creatures. We're talking about reducing, stuff that we do with our flyers and increasing the cost of the stuff that our opponent's doing with their single target removal and now with their attack, so very powerful. Into our 5 drops, we have Pouncing Shoreshark. This is my favorite mutate card besides the Sterix. Flash, 4/3. There's no flying here. However, we can mutate it onto some of our creatures with flying to make them a little stronger. Whenever this creature mutates, you may return target creature an opponent controls to its owner's hand. So that's great to just push something back to their hand. They spent mana for nothing. You increase the power of one of your flyers, and you're smashing him because now he won't have summoning sickness because of the mutate onto another creature. These spells are accompanied by 9 planes, 10 islands, and 4 Tranquil Coves. I forgot that we have access now, everybody free to play, to the Temple as well. I think it's Temple of Mystery for the Azorious, the white and the blue, which is what Azorious is combined. So add that in. Obviously, if you've got other rare lands, add those in as well. We are playing best of 1 today, so we don't have a sideboard. However, we do have a quick upgrade guide for you guys at the end of the video if you stay tuned to catch that. That was the deck list. Playing best of 1 today. Let's talk about the strategies and synergies involved with Easy Flyers. We kind of capped a little bit on the main premise of the deck, which is manipulating the cost of things. So we're reducing the things that we are doing, and we're increasing the cost of the things that our opponent is doing. Decreasing our own through Watcher of the Spheres. Creature spells with flying cost 1 less to cast. Yep, sign me up. And then we talked about the Skybonder. Spells your opponent casts that target this creature cost 2 more to cast, and that's going to be universally on all of your flyers. So our stuff's cheaper, their stuff costs more, and then even when they want to attack us through the Archon of Absolution, creatures can't attack you or a planeswalker you control unless their controller pays 1 for each of those creatures to attack. So we've got all of our bases covered. There's no Smothering Tithe here, but I think that could potentially work well into the deck as well, and we could transfer this from a Flyers deck, maybe more into a Control Tax deck, potentially. However, that's a different video. We're sticking to the Flyer game today. So that's the main objective of the deck, is to kind of make our stuff cheaper, his stuff more expensive, or their stuff more expensive. Lots of ladies play Magic too. And then kind of utilizing that split difference to get more value and later game value out of stuff like Miscast, our Denial, our Whirlwind of Denial as well. 2 Denials, interesting. So that's it. That's all you're doing. We're going to take a look now at some of the more in-depth synergies within the deck. That's the overall strategy. As far as synergies, Faerie Vandal can be flashed in for 2, so you can avoid your opponent's removal. He also makes a great blocker for Fervent Champion, the 1/1 with First Strike. Your opponent's used to just smacking in with Fervent Champion. Boom, here comes a Faerie Vandal. 1/2 smashes that Fervent Champion, which doesn't make sense, but it happens. I'm okay with it. And then immediately after, on your turn again, boom, Staggering Insight goes on your Faerie Vandal. You attack, it draws you a card, you gain life, and Faerie Vandal will click up because now you drew a card with Staggering Insight. So Faerie Vandal, Staggering Insight is kind of one of the more powerful synergies within the deck. maybe the only synergy within the deck, right? So we have another synergy through Pouncing Shoreshark and Faerie Vandal. Faerie Vandal becomes very important within the deck because it is the least valuable creature card that we have. And I talk lots about spreading the threat and not stacking all of your threat on one creature, because then it becomes much easier for them just to remove that single threat if they have single targeted removal. So you're forcing them into a position where they need to have that multi-target removal or the field wipes. So if you have a Faerie Vandal, you've got a Skybonder and a Watcher of the Spheres, you know, spread them out and start putting your Staggering Insight, you know, on the Vandal, because it's only powering up. So it's not that great. It's not as good as reducing your cost or making your opponent's spells cost more, right? So spread your threat. Make sure that it's equally confusing for your opponent. The idea is to make the decision-making process as difficult as possible. Where you stack your threat, it's a very easy decision. They're like, that thing's powerful, it has to go. But if you spread it all out, it becomes more confusing for them to distinguish what their decision-making process should be. So with that being said, Pouncing Shoreshark can go onto the Vandal as well, because the +1/+1 counters will transfer. So the shark can mutate on top of it. The shark becomes a 4/3 with flying, plus it gains however many counters the Vandal had. So it can be, you know, a 5/4, a 6/5. It can get quite powerful, and it's got flying as well, which is massive. You should be able to crush your opponent with a Pouncing Shoreshark mutation onto Faerie Vandal. Archon of Absolution, we talked about. The main premise, I guess, is to stack first. Like, your main objectives is to stack the cost situations through the Watcher of the Spheres, the Skybonder, and the Archon of Absolution. Get these 3 creatures out as quickly as possible. 2-drop, 3-drop, 4-drop. And that kind of makes the game less playable for your opponent. Once you've done this, or while you're doing it, if you can get away with it, then we start going in with our attack strategy. The first one's kind of just like slow it down and get the defense up, right? And then we want to start launching our attacks with the evasion via the flyers, right? Through our Staggering Insight, put that on something, start attacking. Hopefully you're grabbing counter spells with it, right? And then you're able to counterspell your opponent's removal every turn via your Miscast, your Denial, your Whirlwind, your Rewind. And then if they get a blocker out, they get something with Reach, they get something with Flying, something that's just going to mess your board state up. That's when the Pouncing Shoreshark comes into play. You know, boom, you bounce the creature with Flying. There was a Lyra Dawnbringer. Not anymore, and we can still hit in with our attacking lanes. You know, something with Reach as well, potentially. So the Shoreshark is there strictly to clear up your attacking lanes, to make sure that you can continually hit for that damage, or to help you survive if your opponent's got some really oppressive creature on the board. Only bouncing creatures, keep in mind of that. Again, incorporate all of the rare lands you have into the deck. They're really going to make it much more powerful and consistent. And then if you're interested in some of our upgrades, make sure to watch this video to the end so you don't miss out on that. With that all out of the way, I hope you enjoyed the deck list and the deck tech. Before we get into today's gameplay footage, I have to remind you that I'm live on YouTube every morning at 6 a.m., at 7 a.m., or maybe 7:30. Whenever the YouTube live ends, we switch to Twitch. We're live there basically all day until after lunch at the very earliest. And then we're back on YouTube at 6 p.m. In the evening again. So 6 a.m. YouTube, 7 a.m. Twitch, 6 p.m. back on YouTube. All times are Mountain Standard Central. If you don't want to do the conversion, I showed you the Linktree link. Just open that up, go subscribe to my YouTube, hit the bell, go onto Twitch, follow me, and then you're just going to be notified of whenever I go live. You can make the choice on a daily basis from there on out. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share to a friend to help this video's algorithm. I'm really trying to make this a full-time career for myself, creating content for you guys. I've been loving it. I know the majority of the audience has been really receptive to it as well. And a massive shout out to our financial support on Twitch, Patreon, YouTube, literally for making this begin to transfer from a dream into our reality. And I am so grateful for you guys. So thank you so much. Enjoy today's gameplay footage. Don't forget to watch to the end for our upgrade guide. And if not, go have yourselves a great day regardless. Take care. The land's good. We shouldn't complain. Could be worse. Could be a lot worse. Uh-oh. 1 second. Alright, all is well. We are safe. Well, lots of lands. Worried about Uros. Shoreshark's online, that's pretty cool. We can bounce, you know, later on. The only thing that really poses a threat to us is the Goose. Jariel doesn't really scare us until the point where it's going to buff everything. Right? For 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But he would just buff Jariel to some weird number. Right? Plays Uro. So it would buff it to 4, land out, only buff it to 3. No cards engraved to escape Uro. Needs to pay for attacks. Gilded Goose is going to block this now. I'm sure of it. Let's just push damage. We have life gain, they don't, so any damage they do, we're mitigating. Needs to block it, yeah. Or else we get the draw, and that's just too good. So they create a food token, instant speed, getting use out of the Goose as much as they can. We could have popped a Solidarity, but I'd rather go wider first. They still have lots going on for them. Cultivate. Unless they pay 3, which would be all of their land. Instant or sorcery doesn't counter Ugin is the problem, right? So maybe we should have countered that and just have him pay for it. They're at 4, only 3 engrave. The Denial's pretty cool here. Let's hit for 6. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We need to hold up this Denial. We'll Shoreshark if needed as well. Down to 12, right? It's not the worst. Only 3 engrave. 1, 2. Okay, that's not good. It's fine though, we'll just bounce it with the shark. Take this damage. I'm not sure it matters so much. Let's get it on not our Skybonder, so we're spreading our threat. The Gargaroth can go back. We hit for 9. 4, that's life. So up to 25. Gain a card. Lands. So we really want to be holding up these denials and these miscasts. I think, right? They're going to play their Gargaroth again. For 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Gives them 3. Gargaroth is annoying. I'll give him that. We need another Shoreshark. Maybe the miscast would have been nice there. That was an enchantment though, not a sorcery or instant. No blocks here. Our health is healthy, quite literally. Interesting. Double down on the Bonder. His targeted removal costs more because of the Skybonder. Right? So this makes the midcast and Lofty Denial much more valuable against targeted removal. And that's a universal effect on all of our creatures. Nice. Good game. This is a no-go. 1 land simply won't cut it. 2 could do. Let's toss our Solidarity into Watcher, into our Flash, with our Denial, if we don't... like, we'll use our Denial if we don't. Then we'll use our Vandals. We have a couple free turns because Kruga, so everything's got to be 3 or higher. Annoying, but it's fine. Play 1 to buff the Watcher. Hold up our Denial. If we don't Denial, we play the other. He does have mana. He could engage with us. Crushes the spear. That's fine. Whatever. Not really. It's not fine. That sucks. Adventure's so good. Ugh. Oh, we should have held up a counter! This is still a match somehow. This is Gonzo. He's got vigilance. Elder Gargaroth, get out of here. I've had enough of you today. You're just everywhere. Cannot block you. This makes me so sad. It's got me. Okay, okay, settle down. Isn't that ridiculous? Nice. This is still a match somehow. Right? Oh, Lord. Please have mercy on us. Hey, we could single block one of them. Huh? Coming for you, bud. This is terrifying. Our free-to-play list has no Brazen Borrowers. Shoresharks, that could help. Stop it. Yeah, you see something new every day. Just, it's up to you to make the most of it. Hit it with a smile, chin up. And sometimes you just get to be amazed. What a terrifying turn of events this has become. All because we were punished by not holding up our lofty denial. And it's like, well, if you didn't learn your lesson, I'm going to teach it to you again. And again. I wonder what he uses this turn. Oh, he won't need to use anything this turn. It's just lethal. Very respectable of him to hit us with it automatically. Does he do it just to our person? That would be respectable too. That looked fun. Tossing this. We're going to keep this. It's a lot of land. We get to toss one of them. Skybonder is really key. The Absolution is kind of just icing on the cake. This is going to be that silly mutate deck, though, so that's really annoying. They'd take it anyway, so it's just... we get to keep our hand from being revealed. That's a perfect 2-drop. Hopefully we can get in with our 3-drop. Well, 2-drop now. Alright, he takes a draw. They take a draw. I do not want to get hit with that bests. Cost 4. We need to pull the land. We're losing our Staggering Insight. But we need to go for it. We didn't get it either. So, I mean, our opponent's at 5, we're at 3. Sure wish we could get to 4. Can't cast Eliminate. Hits it with the bounce. Let's just pull his Eliminate out. Their Eliminate. Yeah. Bad turn of events here. We lose our Denial as well. They have to pay for the attack. We can't block because of the Menace. Counterspell? No. Flyer, that's fine. This is affect stacks, which is nice, so he's got to pay 2 for each. Whoa, 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 whoa. Can't do it. Can't even do one. We're gonna make them pay for their attacks before we bounce with our Shoreshark. They see we have the Shoreshark as well. Ouch. Main deck Mystical Disputes. Seems fair. We can't stop it, we're dead in 2. We need another shark. Pretty sure we lose everything here, except for the Archon. We need a shark. They probably are sitting on a counter. This doesn't help us. Good game. Alright, well, getting punished here a little bit today, but I have faith. We're gonna get there. This is a terrible hand. Much better. Let's toss the Solidarity. It's kind of like a late game card. You can threaten a counter here, potentially. Innkeeper. Gross! There's so much adventure going on. Watch us get stomped out of existence here. Clover, okay. Let's make his cards cost more. That's really going to help. Our first 3 damage. We're safe from any removal here. Unless he drops a land and it costs 1. Also no red. Takes the ramp through the giant. That's fine for him. That'll be 2 untapped lands. Powerful. Gets the mountain that they so desperately needed for El Stompo. Plus the extra lands to pay for the Skybonders. Upheaval in cost. Will I play into a Rimrock Knight? No. Does he want me to? Absolutely. And they're oopsing us like it was a mistake. Nice try, more like it. You keep that Rimrock Knight in your hand. Right? It's going to deal 4 damage, but it's going to cost 4. Which they can do. Let's put it on our Watcher. And then we can flash our Vandal in for 2 once he removes it. Or do we just spread the damage now so he's got to pick? Yeah, I think that might be our better suit. 1 on each. Now they'll probably remove the Skybonder. 2 draws, which is really nice. 3 life. 6 life. The Shoreshark is good. We need that Whirlwind Denial for these Clovers. I'm worried about that quite a bit. It's a lot of land. 1, 2, 3, 4. To get a stomp off leaves them with 2 land. They're going to take the Skybonder, and then the next one's cheaper. But our Flyers are cheaper this way, so could be a trade-off. Just a bounce too, but we lose. And on the Watcher, oh, double bounce because of Clover. I see. They did pay 4 for that though, and the bounce is better. Well, no, the Bone Crusher would have been better because we would have been left for 1. So that's what we were worried about. That's what we protected against. And instead they had a Borrower, which got rid of both of our insights. So actually, less than ideal. Let's just reassemble. The bummer now is the Bone Crusher Giant will kill both Flyers. And this is the power of Lucky Clover. So gross. Okay, Lovestruck Beast tapped his mountain. 5/5 double draw. Fae as a blocker, double draw. We can bounce the Fae. Hit for a handful. I don't know, try our best, right? It forces them into replaying the Fae, but another double draw. At this point, their hand's so full it doesn't matter. It's just their mana that's holding them back. They've got such an advantage, it's not even funny. Edgewall, Innkeeper, Clover. Even a Flyer and 2 of them in hand. The nice thing about the Brazen Borrower is it uses both of his islands. So they could potentially play, you know, 2 Faes. Or just have a Petty Theft in hand. Which will just make me so sad. That's a big hit. Rimrock Knights, no. Down to 19. They can't block anyways, right? I'm sure that's his thought perception. Petty Theft, double bounce. Sad. Sad. All back into our hand, though. Down to 2. Fae for the blocker, double draw. So gross. I'm sure this match is over. They've not even started going to their sideboard yet. We have 5 mana available. The denial doesn't counter whatever he copies with, though, and it's so sad. We can flash the Vandal in. Five mana, 4 of it needs to go to the Shark, so maybe it's best to save the Vandal and try to push up the Watcher of the Spheres. Ouch. Just copying all of your spells, no big deal. Seems fair, seems balanced. Oh, and we lose our reduction in spell cost. We should have played this earlier. The little misplays that add up on top of getting crushed by these adventure decks over and over again. So if you're wondering what deck to play, it's the adventure deck. Especially in best of 1. What do we even do here? Nothing? Gross. Is that an enjoyable play experience? You tell me. We go first. Change of pace. Scrying for our 3rd land. Which we don't need, but it's nice. Oh, that's life gain, not scry. I forgot this is an artisan, free-to-play deck, 0 res, 0 mythics. Maybe that's why we're getting hammered. Right? These 3 denials are pretty cool, but whether or not we get to use them is going to be another story. Hopefully no casts there. That's quite nice. Let's take the hit. And we're just going to hold up these denials. Skybonder can stay there. Screw it. Nope. We have Miscast open. Fourth land. A Plains. This is Bant's shenanigans. And he plays a creature, so Miscast isn't required. Gets to play another land with a Solemn Simulacrum. And then when it dies, they get to draw a card. Woof woof, right? Let's take our attack first. Playing the lands. We're holding up the Lofty Denial. And playing our Skybonder. This is looking a lot better. His removal costs 2 more. No blocks, so we have plenty of life. They have to pay 4. Plus any addition if it's single target. This will target it once it's on the battlefield, so we actually just need to do it now. Getting rid of that, please and thank you. We're just going to hold out. I want to be able to miscast and use Lofty Denial here, potentially. While the Revitalize is annoying. But I think we should still go for it. Make him pay 3 mana, takes him down to 1, and that would be the end of his turn. Or he can have it countered. In that case, he still has 4, but we've got that backup spell because we left our second planes untapped. So that's been countered. Two damage that we don't mind. Our turn. If we can drop both of these, we'll win. But that leaves us open for his removal. Let's keep one open. We already have them pretty tapped out. We could have lethal here, but I think we need to play it safe. Shark Typhoon that we can't counter. Interesting. Let's end our turn. Hold up our counter spell here. We can stop a Shatter even if they play a land. Elder Gargoth, such a good card. Especially against flyer decks. Okay. We've redeemed ourselves with a win. A little light in the land. That's my worry here. No Scry land as it's free to play, so we've got just our life gain land in the deck, even though there's one now given to everybody. I seem to forget about that. And mono red is not good for us. Wow, this could be very bad. Right? They've got a lot of removal on hand. Yeah, I'm gonna play right into a Bone Crusher Giant. You wish, bud. So Faerie Vandal is actually a great flash blocker for the Fervent Champion. It would have happened regardless. We had to try. We had to try. Just kind of banking on the fact that these 4 cards aren't removal. Right? That's going to be ideal for us. Then we can Staggering Insight and hold up a Lofty Denial. And then maybe we can overcome this mono red deck. Annex sucks, though. That means Embercleave's coming. Bingo bango bongo, though. This does not hurt. And we can counter Embercleave, everyone. That's the best news of this. I don't shit there. We need more counters, though, is the problem. Hit for 4. Not good. Counterspell, counterspell, counterspell. Nice! No, I do not think so. We need another counterspell off the top. There we go. Nice. Wow, we're getting lucky. Let's see what we get for a draw. Another? Please, sir, may I have another? Make him pay for the attack, so now Embercleave's not going to be an option, right? Because they'll have to pay for those attackers. So he's not going to have all the mana to, you know, have the attacks be reduced. Nice. I would rather hold up Miscast, right, for the cleave. It's more important. And then we'll just use another Archon next turn. No! He just has so much removal. Stop it. Let's take that attack. Down to 8. We should have played the Bonder. And then we could have played both of these. Cries. We still have... oh, the Bonder doesn't reduce. Never mind. That's the Watcher. Cost more. Stop cleave. Cost more. Stop cleave. Cost more. Stop cleave. I think we've already stopped cleave for 1, so let's make everything cost more. Not everything, just his targeted removal, which he seemed to have a lot of, right? This is all targeted removal. Another Fervent Champion. It's good. We're still at 20, though, which is great. And we have lethal on board for next turn. Good game. Archon of Absolution shuts down mono red because they can't cleave. Takes it on the chin like a champion. We go first. Last match I mentioned that Miscast could have countered Embercleave. It can't. It's only instances and sorceries. That's one of my bigger misplays. So this is a good hand, but it's very slow. Right, we're not really playing anything until our Bonder. But if we can get there without any removal, that's nice. His single targeted removal costs more. So that probably should be safe. It's things like Cry of the Carnarium that upset us. That gets us through to leave our rewind up. Which I believe is the right choice. end turn if we don't rewind. And even if we do rewind, yeah, then we can still Vandal. That Slitherwisp is a draw engine. Whenever you cast another spell that has flash, you draw a card and each opponent loses 1 life. Vandal comes in with flash. Their removal that costs 2 is now effective. Yeah. Oh well. Part of me wants to Staggering Insight, but the other half just says, throw that Bonder in there again, right? It upset them. And what are the chances that we're going to draw a card and not just play right into removal? Unlikely. We don't have protection. So Bonder comes into play again. Let's just take our hit. I don't doubt that they have more removal, but at least this way it's using their whole turn. This Solidarity is going to go out as soon as possible because we know they have Heartless Axe, and that's going to protect it. But we just pulled a counter, so you know what that means. So not only does his targeted removal cost more, but now Lofty Denial will make him pay more mana as well. So the likelihood of them being able to do both of those is not so great. Yes, not always great against ramp decks. Okay, so this actually sucks a lot. We were not worried about Shark Typhoon. We should have used our Solidarity, I guess. Wow. Does that suck or what? I'm actually nervous. Wow. Shark Typhoon is a good card. I was not expecting that. And we don't dare attack into another one. Ouch. Try to counter his next spell. I mean, in all honesty, we're a free-to-play deck getting hammered with rares. No blocks, down to 17. They have a full hand. We can't just sit here and take it. We should have played last turn. Nice game. Just send it out like a champ. No, they don't take lethal. We're outie, that means. Skipped my turn for them. They can't even play another creature with flash. Alright, final match of the day. Win, lose. You know, I've got a pretty even record here. Mono red makes me so sad. Right? Oh, Lord. Gets a counter of ours as well. Let's play right into a stomp. Making the bet that they don't have it. We know they do. They always do. That's game. Right? It all just comes down to that first interaction. And if you come ahead out of it, that's that. We can miscast and denial. Actually, no, there's... Well, we can denial, potentially. Getting hit for 3, though, for sure. Make him pay for his attacks. I'm sure he just has removal though. Stomp, shocks, yeah. Big ouchies. And we have no creature to put our insight on. If we can top deck a creature, maybe. Getting beat by 2 land feels pretty bad. Ugh. No creature. Good game. Still just whooping us. Oh, down to 3. Lightning strike. I love how he stomped his own creature so I couldn't put my Staggering Insight on it. Woo! Woof. Ayo River! First things first, if you enjoyed this video, jump into the Hello Good Game page. Hit that subscribe button! Why not? Jump into our videos, click in one, like it, share it to your friends. We've got tons of content. Check out our popular uploads, if you're one of those view junkies. I know I am, right? 40K almost, woof, woof, baby. We've got the free-to-play decks as well, just general guides, our standard decks, our historic decks, our brawl decks, our tools and tips, which is also a great playlist just to watch to get up on the latest goodies within the game, and then a little bit of limited as well. So no matter what you're into, we've got it nicely sorted for you guys. Just subscribe to the page. I'm going to go over here on your little list. You get a blue dot when I've got new uploads, which is twice a day. Check them out. Enjoy. It's easiest to watch the playlists and best for my ad revenue as well. Don't forget to like the videos, share them out to a friend, comment on them. Any engagement really helps the algorithm and me grow this business. When you are watching the video, this is your general layout. Here's the little thumbs up. It's not hard. Here's the subscribe button. It'll be right here. And if you want to support financially, there's the join button. We talked a little bit about today, the Overwolf assistant within Arena, MTGA assistant. The link right there below the video. Download it, check it out, install it. You go into your settings, account, detailed logs, plugin support, just enable that, and that will make it work just like it is here in mine. And you're gonna get all of this amazing info that we already talked about. So again, that was as easy as clicking in to one of our videos, wherever it is. And all of our links always are right here at the bottom. That's the Overwolf for the assistant. And then the Linktree link has all of our other jazz. Any projects that we're working on, everything is going to be included into this Linktree link. Our assistant link is reposted, right? Because we get 80 cents a download. So I really appreciate everybody helping out there. Our Discord link is there. All of our deck lists, our YouTube, our Twitch. We've got free entry, cash prize tournaments, and giveaways, I guess is a good word for it. And then we've got our Patreon, and then just some websites and beginner handbook projects that we're working on. So that is how to use my channel, right? You should have no problem navigating it from here on out. We are also talking about an upgrade guide. I don't want to leave you hanging. Easy Flyers was a great deck. We got whooped up a little bit, but we're playing in Mythic. This is the top rank within the game. So we cannot expect an easy time, especially playing with 0 rares and 0 mythics. You're due to get beat up. It's a miracle we're winning any games at all. If you're interested in more free-to-play content, I showed you where it's at. It's in the free-to-play playlist. Check it out. Woof. Let's talk upgrades. Skycat Sovereign for 2. The cost of it can't be reduced because there's no generic mana cost. This is a negative side. However, it gets +1/+1 for each other creature you control with flying. I really like this, and it can create a 1/1 flyer by paying 4 at instant speed. I also like this. So Skycat Sovereign is great. I think this is a very good card. And honestly, I would drop Basri Solidarity and I would take some Skycats. You know, I think that's good. Brazen Borrower. Whew, this card is amazing. Petty Theft, bouncing something to your opponent's hand again, and then it's a 3/1 flyer with flash. Sign me up. Sea Dasher Octopus. This is similar to Staggering Insight. It's a flash as well, so we can cast it on our end step, which makes it more valuable in my opinion. However, there's no life gain involved, so maybe that's the trade-off there. It's also a creature potentially if you need. Baneslayer Angel. You can't stay alive if they're out burning you. They're doing maybe some direct damage on your little flyers. Cry of the Carnarium, something that's sad. No. Sorry, Mono Red. Baneslayer Angel's coming into play. First strike, flying, a lifelink, 5/5. Plus the reduced cost, which is stackable. The Watcher of the Spheres, each copy of this in play reduces it by 1. We could play Baneslayer potentially for 2, and that is going to ruin lives. We're going to need a public service announcement for that. And then, of course, the 4 Temple of Enlightenments, the Scry 1 lands, just really increasing the consistency of the deck, making sure you're not flooding, making sure you're not breaking on land, just makes a friendly play experience. Any dual lands is a great place to start if you're a beginner or free-to-play individual. So this was Easy Flyers. You know, we took a look at everything other than playing some events with it. I think that's something that I want to start doing is the free-to-play decks with the event farming into the upgrade guides. So you guys just have a full grasp on every deck so you can go out and start farming some of these events, completing your collection if you've got the time. If not, the most casual way to play this game, in my opinion, 4 wins every single day, buy packs with your gold. Over the course of the entire set, you will have unlocked every rare, 212 rares. Again, 4 wins a day, buy packs with your gold. You're allowed to take 2 days off a year. That's the only downside, is you got to play every single day. And that's really cool. However, there is a little bit more of a stipulation to that, a little asterisk. You have to buy 50 packs as well. So you don't quite get there, but you get very close. And the pre-release packs are a great way to jumpstart that, or maybe just get the Mastery Pass, and that'll help you close the gap as well, or do some drafts, play more games than 4 a day. There's plenty of ways to help grow that collection. If you're interested in that, check out my farming guide. It's one of my most watched videos on my page, so it's not hard to find. Take care. Have a great day. I'm live every morning at 6 on YouTube. At 7, we're live on Twitch, and then back again and YouTube at 6 p.m. all times Mountain Standard Central. I already showed you how to follow, like, subscribe, so you don't have to do the time conversions. And yeah, big shout out to our Twitch, Patreon, YouTube support financially for making this possible. Thank you guys. Take care. I hope you have a great day, and we'll see you a little bit later. Peace.